Let's start a riot! A riot! Let's start a riot! Oh, well, hello, my name is Mr. Hoven, and today we're going to be talking about the conflict boiling over and the start of the Revolutionary War, kind of why the whole "Let's start a riot" was being sung as you clicked on this video. So enough talk, let's go ahead and get started. All tyranny needs to gain a foothold is for people of good conscience to remain silent. Thomas Jefferson, one of our founding fathers. The colonies were not given representation in the English government, but they were continued to be taxed, and this upset the colonists. So they called this tyranny, which was an abuse, an unjust abuse or use of power by the English government and parliament against the colonies. So it's time to start a riot. So before the riot really began, the colonies kind of had some ways of protesting these different acts and taxes. So the Stamp Act Congress formed to organize protests against the Stamp Act. The Sons of Liberty, we've heard about them probably a few times already, organized protests and boycotts. Boycotts is refusing to buy something that's imported, for example. Non-importation agreements, pledges not to import British goods. So individuals who were patriots pledged, we will not import British goods or buy them. The Daughters of Liberty wove cloth, made their own tea in protest, and on March 18th, 1766, Britain repealed the Stamp Act. The protest worked. However, England passes the Declaratory Act, which declared England as supreme. So again, they kind of take more power as they give a little bit up. So as these protests were going on, it began to raise tensions, and they kind of peaked with the Boston Massacre. In 1768, England sends 4,000 soldiers to Boston to enforce the acts passed by Parliament. On March 5th, 1770, a group of boys throw snowballs and ice at a group of redcoats, also known as British soldiers, resulting in a mob of angry colonists joining the confrontation. As the crowd grew and became more rowdy, the soldiers panic and open fire. 5 colonists are killed, and the soldiers are arrested and put on trial. Sam Adams defends these men, and they were found innocent. And the verdict was it was self-defense. This increases the tension because now the colonists are mad that these redcoats were able to get away with murder on their shores. Now, in response to the Tea Act, the Sons of Liberty organized a plan to destroy English tea that had been shipped to Boston Harbor. After their plea to have the tea sent back to England, angry colonists dressed as Indians boarded the ship and threw 342 chests of tea into the harbor. As a result of the Boston Tea Party, England passes the Intolerable Acts. So they were not tolerable, they were terrible. This law closes the port of Boston until the tea was paid for, and it restricted town meetings to just once a year. So they're making it illegal to assemble in a group and have a meeting. So because of all of these actions, the First Continental Congress was held, and this was formed by the Committee of Correspondence, communication network throughout all the colonies, to organize them. 56 delegates from 13 colonies met to discuss possible actions to protest British laws, urged the colonies to build up munitions and prepare for possible war. They also sent a letter to King George requesting peace. The king responded by sending more troops. Tensions are rising, people are becoming upset. It is only a matter of time before rioting and war break out. So these tensions are building, and war is upon us. At Lexington and Concord, British General Gage is ordered to seize colonial arms and arrest Sam Adams and John Hancock. On April 19, 1775, a small British force was sent to Concord, Massachusetts to seize colonial weapons. Minutemen, who were the volunteer soldiers ready to fight in a minute's notice, waited in Lexington, Massachusetts to block the British from going to Concord. As the two sides meet face to face, a gunshot is fired, and the revolution has officially begun. The gunshot becomes known as the shot heard around the world. Oh, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. We'll be getting to more of the revolutionary conflict next time. We'll see you then.